Hey students, welcome back to reading. We have a new essential question this week. Ready to find out what it is? Let's read it together. Our essential question this week is, how do living things change as they grow? We talked before about how there's a lot of different types of living things. You know, you and I are living things. I wonder, think back to when you were very little, a small baby. Were you different then than you are now? What are some ways that you changed and you grew? You aren't the same as you were when you were a little baby. It's so interesting to think about the ways we change and grow. In a minute, we're going to read a story about how a tree changes as it grows. And we'll have to listen carefully for any words that we know in the story. Whoa, what's under here? Oh my goodness, let's find out. New vocabulary words. Cool, let's read them. The first word is develop. Say that once with me. Develop. Now let's clap it out. Develop. What a cool word. To develop means to grow. If you look at this picture, this is a baby tree. And as it grows, it develops into a very tall, big, grown-up tree. What is one way a plant develops? Well, looking at this picture, I see it getting taller and taller. And I also notice that it grows or develops more leaves. That's just one way that a plant can develop. We'll find out more ways pretty soon. The next word is amazing. That's a fun one to say. Say it with me. Amazing. Now let's clap it out. Amazing. To be amazing is to be surprising and wonderful. You are all amazing students. In this picture, the fruit on the tree, the oranges, are amazing. They're big and juicy and orange. Have you ever seen an amazing tree outside before? I definitely have. We have a lot of amazing plants here in Hawaii. Now, let's read a story about how a tree changes as it grows. Let's read the title of our book on the front cover. A Grand Old Tree. And in the picture, I see a really big, beautiful tree. Grand is another word for really big and wonderful. And down here, I see the author, or the person who wrote the words in our story. Mary Newell De Palma. All right, let's read and find out all about a grand old tree. Once, there was a grand old tree. Her roots sank deep into the earth. Her arms reached high into the sky. She was home to many creatures. Birds nested among her branches. Squirrels scurried through her leaves, and caterpillars and ladybugs crawled about. The grand old tree flowered. Bore fruit. And in this case, when it says bore fruit, it means that it was growing fruit on the tree. And down here at the bottom, I see that the squirrels are enjoying the fruit that is coming off of the tree. Are you noticing the ways that the tree changes as it grows? And sowed seeds. She had many children. And in this part of the story, when it says sowed seeds, it means that it spread seeds around. And when the seeds fall off the tree, they make new trees. They changed the landscape for miles around, perhaps even farther than the old tree knew. Up here at the top, I can see a bird taking a seed far, far away. Maybe a new tree will grow where that seed ends up. The grand old tree lived a long, long time. She basked in the sun, bathed in the rain, swayed in the breeze, and danced in the wind. She grew old and shed. In this case, shed means lost or has something fall off. She shed many millions of leaves. At last, the grand old tree was very, very old. Her branches no longer swayed and danced, but cracked and snapped in the wind. Finally, she fell, and snow gently covered her. The old tree died. She no longer flowered, bore fruit, or sowed seeds. But she was still home to many creatures. Raccoons nested in her trunk. Centipedes crawled along her branches, and lichen grew on her bark. The grand old tree slowly crumbled. She became part of the earth. Today, the roots of her grandchildren sink deep into this earth. Their arms reach high in the sky. And they are home to many creatures. Just like the old tree. Did you notice the way that the tree changed as it grew? And how it helped all of the different animals around it too? It's so interesting to think about living things and the ways that they change as they grow.